After searching for nearly a month, I finally found a Walmart that had the exclusive CM Punk in stock, and it was the last one on the shelf. So now the question is the torso stained? Well, let's find out. Hey, Metal Driver here with another AEW review, and today I'm looking at the unrivaled Walmart exclusive CM Punk. So the packaging is different than the standard version. That one had the unmatched box. This one is unrivaled. It's got a different image of Punk on the front and the back. But enough of that. Without further ado, let's go ahead and open this up and take a closer look at CM Punk. And here is the best in the world out of the packaging. But before we take a look at the figure, let's look at the accessories that he comes with. He comes with two gripping hands that are taped up, and he features blue X's on the white tape, which is different from the standard version because that one had black X's. And it says drug-free across the knuckles. The lettering looks really good, painted very well. He's got an AEW microphone that has the logo painted on all the sides. Looks pretty good for the most part. It is a bit warped, so you can fix that with a little bit of hot water. And then he comes with a hoodie similar to the standard version. The difference is that the logos are not the same. As you can see on the regular version, it says Larry here on the left side. On the back, it features Larry the dog. Whereas on the Walmart exclusive, we get the AEW logo instead of Larry's name. And the AEW logo on the back, nice and big, printed very well. So again, now the question is the torso stained? Because I have two of the standard version of Punk. Both had staining around the midsection, around the waist area. So hopefully that's not the case here. So let's go ahead and take this off, find out. And now that the hoodie is off, unfortunately I do see some staining. Here's a little bit right here on the shoulder, on the left side. It is blended a bit into the tattoos, so it's not as noticeable. You do see some right here on the right shoulder. And then you see some staining here on the lower back. So that is unfortunate. That really sucks. So unfortunately it's to be expected now with these type of fabric material. Or at least until Jazzwares decides to use a different type of material for their soft goods clothing. So that is disappointing. So at this point I'm kind of hoping that the ringside exclusive doesn't have any staining, because he is wearing a white shirt, so we might not see any of that. If that is the case, I might end up just swapping the torso off that figure, putting it on this one, or the standard version, because that ringside exclusive is wearing street clothes, so it doesn't matter if the torso is stained, in my opinion. You're going to put a t-shirt or a hoodie over that figure, whereas this one, he's going to be displayed in his wrestling gear, so you want to have the torso exposed. So in that case, you don't really want that stained at all, so that'll hopefully make these figures look better. Then taking a look at the head sculpt, this is the same one that is on the Chase version of the figure. So he's got this smiling expression. I do kind of prefer this over the standard release one. Feels like it has a little bit more character, a little bit more life. It is painted pretty well for the most part. I will say that I think the lips should be a little bit thicker. They look a little bit too thin, at least the paint on it. But other than that, the beard looks pretty good. The eyes are painted well. The eyebrows look good. So not a bad looking head sculpt, but it's not the best likeness to Punk. Get that nice tattoo behind the ear right there, looks pretty good. A little bit of missing paint right here, which kind of sucks. Then look at the tattoos, they are the same as the standard version, painted really well, looks really good. It's nice, good line work, good paint detail all around on the tattoos. Again, you do see a little bit of that staining right here, that kind of sucks. Cobra tattoo looks really good. Tattoos on the other side look nice, good paint. Looks pretty clean for the most part, except for, again, some staining right there on the shoulder, a little bit right there. Tattoo across the abdomen. Looks really good. And then again, we see that staining on the back. Then look at the lower body. He is not wearing the long tights. He is wearing his trunks, which is really nice. I prefer this look. So it's nice to have a Punk with this design. That is not the Chase, because essentially the body and the head sculpt is exactly the same as the Chase version. What sets this figure apart is that he has the hoodie. So I'm glad there is an easier way to get your hands on this version of Punk. It is painted very well on the front. Looks pretty good on the back. A little bit of fuzziness here on the blue. Some missing paint right there. You got his exposed legs. He is missing the tattoos right here. Black knee pads, and then just standard black kick pads. No designs there, so that kind of sucks. It would have been nice to get these designs for the kick pads, but aside from that, I am really happy that I have Punk with this attire design, so I don't have to look all around for a chase or spend hundreds of dollars on a chase. All I had to do was just go to every single freaking Walmart in my area for 3 weeks straight, just to finally have a $20 figure. Alright, then going over the articulation, it's going to be the same as the unmatched Punk. Head is on a ball joint and a hinge that goes that high up, that far down. Can turn side to side, and it tilts slightly. Shoulder goes that high up, it's a bit tight on mine. Yep, that's about as high as it goes. Rotates all the way around. There is a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, a swivel and hinge at the wrist, ball joints at the upper diaphragm and the waist, so he crunches that far forward, goes that far back, can twist pretty decently at the upper diaphragm, tilts slightly, and then he does have slight rotation there at that ball joint at the waist. Legs go really far out, that high up, so excellent range there. A thigh cut, double jointed knees, a cut at the top of the boot, ankle goes that high up, that far down, and he has some excellent ankle pivot. And here's the new Walmart exclusive CM Punk next to the unmatched standard version CM Punk figure. Alright, so what are my final thoughts on the Walmart exclusive unrivaled CM Punk figure? Well, I'm really happy that I found it. I'm glad that this is pretty much the Chase version Punk, or at least an easy way to get the Chase attire, which me personally, I prefer the trunks over the long tights. Because really, the only difference between this and the actual Chase is that this one has a hoodie, the actual Chase does not, which brings me to the issue with this figure is it's the issue of the staining. So by no means is this not a perfect figure. It does have its flaw, and that flaw is, again, that staining problem that we have seen with several of the AEW figures. Hopefully Jazzwares can get that worked out and fixed, because I absolutely hate the staining. I think it's an issue that in 2022 we should not be having with our wrestling figures anymore. But aside from that, I am pretty much happy with this figure. I think overall it looks good. The head sculpt is pretty good for the most part. The lips could have been painted a little bit better, but aside from that, I like the overall look. So if you are able to find this at a Walmart, I say definitely pick it up. It is worth adding to your collection. The only thing that sucks is that it is a Walmart exclusive. I hate store exclusives. Walmart is notorious for having bad distribution, so hopefully these do show up in many, if not all, of the Walmart stores, but I'm not really optimistic about that happening. But what I would like to happen is for you to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Check out my social media to be up to date with all my wrestling figure photography, and I'll see you next time.